Here, and this is after all this vicious pounding and elbows, sunk in the rear naked choke for the victory. Ed Herman just looked fantastic tonight.
Ed Herman victorious over Smith. That is our submission of the night.
Illegal immigrants by finally getting tough on the people who hire illegals. But will this work, or is it too little too late? Joining us now from San Diego, Enrique Morones, an immigration rights activist. Enrique, I hear from the open borders people that if we deport illegal aliens, it's unfair to go after the immigrants. Then they'll say what we really need to do is go after the employers. Now the feds are going after the employers, and you're saying, don't go after the employers. Why can't you people make up your minds?
Well, I don't know what people you're talking about, but as far as I'm concerned, I think that what we really need is humane and comprehensive immigration reform, and this is another example. We have the situation with the passports. Everyone's going to need a passport, and I think that's good. Well, this is another situation where people are going to need to be able to prove that they're here legally, that they have a document. I think it's going to be very complicated. I think it's going to have a lot of racial profiling going on. There's going to be a lot of confusion. A lot of us have used two last names in various cultures. In the United States, that's rare. And that's going to cause confusion with your Social Security number and so forth. And there's a lot of people that are here legally that are going to be targeted. And there's a lot of people that are here without documents that are also going to be targeted. And I think we want to find out who the people are. No doubt about it. I agree. We need to find out. But we need to have a better system for it. And that's why, this is another reason why we need the immigration reform that is actually humane and not like the bill that they were trying to throw our way, which we didn't want, that we rejected.
What is inhumane about taking Social Security numbers and seeing if they match up, and if they don't match up, making sure that employers do not hire people who have mismatched Social Security numbers? Those Social Security cards are not color or ethnic or racial coded, so your invocation of the racial card, once again, is bogus.
Yeah, it's not an invocation of the racial card. What I'm saying is going to be a lot of confusion because
you said that it's going to. You said it's going to lead to racial profiling. How's it going to lead to racial profiling when there's no identification by race on a Social Security number? If the number doesn't match up, the employer's responsible for it. Where's the racial aspect there?
But just like what's happening with the raids right now in the country, rarely do you see raids of other communities besides the Latino or Middle Eastern communities. And half of the people that are here undocumented, of the 12 million undocumented people, are not Latino. But one community is targeted more than others, and that's the Latino community. I think the same thing will be happening with the no-match letters.
Are you claiming, Enrique, that the people in Washington who are going to be checking these numbers are going to be looking to identify somehow the race or ethnicity of the people? If they're here illegally, they're here illegally. If the numbers don't match, they don't match.
I think the employers and the work sites, that's where this is going to be taking place. Not necessarily in Washington, but when the employers are checking or targeting in a community or checking these various numbers or asking them for identification and so forth, I think that's where we're going to see the racial profiling.
If they have to check every single employer, if every single employer has to check every single new employee or hire, how is the targeting taking place?
Because they're not set up for it. They're not set up for it. Just like right now when they want to issue passports, people need passports. They're so far behind in this type of a technology. They're not ready for it.
So the feds are telling them to get set up for it.
Yeah, and it's going to take time. So I think that's why this bill is not ready for prime time. This bill is going to take some time, and that's why we'll continue to say we need humane and comprehensive immigration reform. Remember, Michelle, that the people that are coming here without documents, they have no line to get into. The poor people that are coming here dying in the desert, they have no line to get into. We need to have humane and comprehensive immigration reform. These people that are coming here...
You're like a robot programmed to say that. We're talking about a specific policy here. You started off, your very first sentence was, we need a humane and comprehensive immigration reform. Well, they're starting.
Right.
You don't have wholesale immigration enforcement right away. You start, and this is what the federal government is doing. And also, Enrique, I think you're not in a position to be talking about humaneness and humanity when you are there in Southern California inciting vandalism against a statue in your neighborhood simply because you disagree with the policies of Pete Wilson. Humanity, you're talking about inciting violence and vandalism simply because Pete Wilson has a statue there.
No, it doesn't have a statue here, and that's why people are upset about it. San Diego and Tijuana are sister cities. Pete Wilson is a persona non grata in Tijuana like he is in Baja California, and to a lot of communities here in San Diego. He represents the worst of the American spirit with what he did with 187 against the Constitution. I believe in the Constitution. He went against
It's an American city, and what you're doing is wrong, and we hope that this immigration enforcement continues. Thank you. When we come back, some